Hey, welcome back. After taking what has it been, about a year hiatus, I'm getting back in the thick of it. And you know what? People keep wanting to send me high quality flashlights to review, so I'm going to keep reviewing them. I should always say, the caveats and the provisos. I do not do pay to play reviews. I have a lot of products that people want to send me or do send me, and most of them, quite frankly, they don't make the cut. But this one came to me, and it was interesting how the conversation started. I was contacted by a representative of ThruNight about this brand, WOWTAC. So they've got some kind of an affiliate relationship here, and I've kind of asked them about it, and they say, well, we're technically supporting ThruNight. And I get the impression we're technically supported by ThruNight. And that I think that means that they're doing the warranty and the replacement and maybe the logistics for it. But it is a really good product. It's made by a company called WOWTAC, and whether that's a ThruNight offshoot or not, it seems to have all of those great quality cues that the ThruNight product has. This isn't really an unboxing video, but I want to give you an idea that the packaging is simple and to the point, and the product's going to get to you in good shape because it is packaged well. You get in the box, you get, of course, the flashlight. We'll come back to that. You get a USB cable because this is a USB rechargeable flashlight. I really love that. So it doesn't come with a wall wart, but you probably have half a dozen of those running around if you're like most people, so you don't need it. The old package of silica gel. You also get replacement O-rings and a replacement USB port cover to keep dust and water out, and that is important because this is got a pretty good. This has got a pretty good waterproof rating. We'll get to that. And the flashlight itself, of course, comes with a pocket clip. I've already put that on there. And one of the things when you go to buy a flashlight, not every manufacturer does this, and I've always loved this about ThruNight, and it seems like WOWTAC is doing the same thing. You get the battery. You get the lithium-ion battery. When you're checking flashlight prices, make sure that you're taking a look at whether or not they're including the battery or not. That's a big deal. And by the way, this is a 2600 milliamp hour battery. All the output and time ratings that I'll be talking about in just a second here, that's all based on that 2600 milliamp hour battery that comes with it. So you can recharge it over and over again. Just tighten it up real good. This is the WOWTAC A7. I'm pretty sure you can see that clearly. Maybe I'll point that out with some, I don't know, animation or something. I've got better editing tools these days. And again, there's your USB charging port and the kind of fake rubber or silicone or neoprene or something cover over it to keep water and dirt out. This is an interesting light because it is made in a way that makes it really useful for both utility and tactical purposes. The main thing that makes this useful as a tactical light is the fact that the tail cap switch, first of all, is covered, so it's not going to, it's not really easy for that to get depressed if it's just sitting in a pack or something. There's something, that keeps that from being depressed accidentally. And it operates both ways that you want out of a tactical light, and that is there's a click on and a click off, and there's also a momentary on. Now, I leave this in the turbo mode, and I'll come back to that in a second because that's what's most useful for your good old, tactical use. Shine in somebody's eyes or, in a dark parking lot or something like that to make sure nobody's lurking. You've got the on-off switch in the back, and you've also got, let's put this down, the lowest mode. You've got the mode switch here, and this goes to a number of different modes. First mode you've got is the Firefly mode, and that puts out 0.5 lumens of light. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but I've been trying this, walking around a dark closet in the dead of night or the dark garage in the dead of night with no light present. And this is plenty of light to find yourself around a darkened room. Make sure you're not tripping over something. Read a map by it. Something so that you wouldn't have to necessarily blind yourself and lose night vision just to get a little bit of light to look at something. You can read directions or, find your way around, whatever. And the neat thing about this mode is the Firefly mode will give you 108 days, I said days, of light. 108 days of useful light if you leave this on for all that time. Now, obviously, you're not going to have it on during the daytime, so you can get more than 108 days of useful light at the Firefly mode. Pretty cool feature, I think, and I haven't tested that out. I haven't had it 108 days to try that out, but I have left it on for a few days, and yeah, it just keeps on going. No problem with that. Clicking the button again gets you to the low mode. And the low mode is an output of 12 lumens, 108 hours. You know, back when I started buying LED flashlights, the ones that were the most powerful were around 12 to 20 lumens. This is, you know, one step up. You can definitely see yourself walking around a room, not running into anything, lighting your path, not tripping over stuff. About 108 hours of light you'll get in that mode. Next up is 65 lumen mode. That's medium. You know, it wasn't too long ago that 65 lumens was about the amount of light that most weapons-mounted lights had, at least for pistols. So to see that we're now at a time where the maximum output of some lights only a couple of years ago is now the medium output of light, that's a pretty good thing. And by the way, that light that I'm talking about that put out about 60 lumens of light, that would have cost you several $100s. This is a $30 light with the battery and everything included. Well, $29.95, and I've even got a discount code for you coming up here. And it'll last at 20 hours in the medium mode of output. You click it one more time. You go through, well, I mean, the way this works is there's 5 modes. You go Firefly, low, medium, high. High mode, 296 lumens. This is probably useful for just about any purposes that you'd want to use it for. You can definitely change a tire with this amount of light. You can definitely light up a whole room with it. You know, point the light at the ceiling, and if it's dark, you'll be able to see around the whole room just with the splash of indirect light. I've tried that out, and it works really, really well in that mode. And it'll last 4 hours at that output. The next output level is turbo. Turbo is kind of interesting. Turbo is 1047 lumens. As I said before, this is the mode that I leave it in for self-defense use, because you want to be able to use that momentary, you know, somebody you think is lurking in the corner, and you just kind of go, hey, you know, hey, buddy, what are you doing over there? What are you doing behind my car? You know, that kind of thing. Or if somebody is going to attack you, flash that right in your eyes. Believe me, that will get their attention. 1047 lumens. It's a small light, and it doesn't have a lot of space as a heat sink. So what this turbo mode does is there's a circuit in there, and it says if you leave this on for more than about 2 minutes, the light would ordinarily overheat. So what it'll do is it'll be in 1047 lumens mode for about 2 minutes, and then it'll kick itself down to high, and at that level, it will last over about 4 hours. That's kind of how that works. Then the next mode is strobe. I'm not going to strobe you. You click it into another strobe. Just click it into the strobe mode, and it'll last like 9 hours strobing on and off. And that's at that high level of light, the 296 lumens level. That's really good as an emergency lighter if you're stuck somewhere and you kind of want to have a strobe to draw attention to yourself. So those are all the modes you've got available on this. I did try the light out in most of these modes to make sure that it worked as I expected. I don't like to beat up the lights a lot. I used to do things like hit them with a hammer and throw them across the parking lot to see if they work. This is rated for an impact resistance of 1.5 meters, so it's not something you probably want to, you know, toss into a rock quarry. However, if you are walking along with it and you drop it onto the pavement, it's not going to break on you. That's the important part there. It is IPX8 rated. That's rated to 2 meters. I forget how long IPX8 rating is for. It's for several minutes at least. So if you drop this in a puddle of water and you pick it up and you just shake it off, you're fine. You're not going to have any problems. And the O-rings seem to seal really well on this as well. So, you know, the WOWTAC A7 looks like a pretty doggone good light and a good value at $29.95. But WOWTAC has said for this audience, for my audience, they're going to give you an extra 15% off if you'll follow the link I left below and use the code that I've got in the description settings. So this is actually going to replace another flashlight that is a larger flashlight that I've been carrying in a coat of mine, because this is actually going to do a better job for me. It's smaller, puts out the same amount of light, and it's definitely going to take a place in my day-to-day use. The WOWTAC A7. Thanks for looking again at the channel. Glad to be back, and we'll be back with more pretty soon. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.